So, we're back working on the Celica again. It's been a while, not because it hasn't been broken, just because I haven't had the time, energy or money to fix it. But this is going to be an easy one. I'm being positive about it because I'm not normally. It should be simple, it should be easy, and hopefully there might even be some information that people find useful. So, fucking A, trifecta, let's go. So it will come as no surprise that this thing with its obnoxious exhaust system has had the occasional rattle, and it's something that is really common, but a lot of people seem to kind of, I don't want to say over exaggerate. People get worried about noises and they'll run to a garage, oh, my exhaust is making a hideous noise, and 99 times out of 100 from what I've seen, it's just the heat shield. So underneath you'll have heat shields in certain points covering important things. They're held on with fasteners that just rot over time and fall off. I mean, this is 25 years old, happened to this. It's happened to so many other cars that I've seen that people are panicking that their exhaust is falling off, and it's just a piece of metal that's fallen on top of the exhaust and is rattling around. So I'll show you underneath what I'm talking about. It's also a really nice sunset. That will help. But yeah, this has had exactly that happen and cause a hideous rattle, and it sounds really, really horrible, but is probably, like I said, 99 times out of 100 it's just the heat shield. There's nothing really to worry about. You can either take it off or put it back on from my experience. So I did put this one back on, so I'll wriggle underneath and show you what I'm talking about. So this is underneath the sort of mid to rear section. You can see how corroded it is, but that's your heat shield. And if that comes loose, it's literally, you can hear the resonance in it. It falls on the exhaust, rattles around, or it slaps against the body. This one had only fallen off of one of the fasteners here. Don't know, can I get a better view of that? So it had fallen off the fastener, or rather part of the metal had worn away, and it was hitting against the bodywork. So it was fine, it's still attached all the way along, except this front edge. So that was rattling every time it hit a certain RPM or you go over a certain bump. That would rattle, sound horrendous, and all it was is just for the sake of this bolt wasn't holding on to anything because the metal had rotted away. So all I've done there is just stuck a great big washer on it. It's now pinching some fairly good metal, and that's absolutely solid. It's not going anywhere. So if you ever get an exhaust rattle and it sounds horrific, if you know what you're up to and you're competent with a jack, just have a little look at your heat shields and see what's going on, because you wouldn't be shocked to find that that had fallen down and it's hitting the exhaust, and you can either pull the thing off entirely or do something like that where you can rig it back together and get it back on again, and then it will stop the rattling, and it will cost you nothing but 10 minutes of your time and one washer in this case. Now, because this is my car and nothing really is ever that simple, it does have a secondary rattle which is somewhat more serious, which is the fact the exhaust is hitting the subframe here. So that ain't good. I'm going to try and do something about that by, I've got an ingenious method I'm going to try, which probably isn't going to work, but I mean, looking at this, it might work. We're going to give it a go. I'll see if I can get it in there, because it's not only clanging and banging, it's squeaking as well. So I'm going to do something else while I'm under here, which is all of the bushes that are old and crusty. I'm just going to absolutely annihilate with WD-40 in hopes that that does something. But for now, I'm going to see if I can do something stupid with this to make it stop rattling. So here's my thought process. I've got one of two arguably bad ideas. First one is this reinforced silicone hose. I'm going to cut in, not in half, but I'm going to cut, well, maybe in half. I'm going to cut basically right down the length of it, open it up, chuck it over the exhaust in between the two pieces, and then metal cable tie the thing on, because hopefully that is non-combustible, because it's silicone. It should be good for many high temperatures, and that will never get hot enough to ignite it anyway. Failing that, I have this monstrosity here, which I was going to do something else with. But it's a silicone cooking mat, or like a baking sheet type device, and it's basically just a big silicone mat. So I could try and double that round a couple of times in the same kind of thought process. The only thing I think will be better with this is it's probably a lot more durable than that little thin piece, because I was going to make some sort of engine cover kind of rain shield on the other car for that. But yeah, I'm going to try this. I'm going to give this a go, because if I can get something in between the two pieces and stop it from metal on metal, rubbing, touching, banging, whatever, maybe it'll work. I'm going to give it a go. It's only just occurred to me I should probably demonstrate the problem. Yeah, that sounds sensible. I don't know if I can, but let's give it a go. Ah, you're not going to idle low enough. So it does it like 1700 RPM. Okay, yeah, maybe it will. Don't know if this is not going to be easy to get on camera. Maybe you heard that little raspiness, the like really awful little rattle it did, because that's where it's rubbing on the subframe. The squeaking is not hard to, or not easy rather, to get on camera, because it only happens when you're driving along. So I did try and film it. I don't know how the audio's come out, but if it worked, I'll put the clip in here. If there's no clip, then it didn't work. Ah, funny that. So that's the tube, that's what I was talking about. Just split it down, stick it in between the two layers. It's somewhat awkward because it's kind of wedged into the body anyway. As you've seen with me trying to move it, it don't want to go very far. So I'm hoping there's enough movement in it where I can kind of, hopefully not drop the car off the jack. Oh, that'll be why. Both rear tyres are in the air. Oh, this is how I die. I think this is how I die. But not today. So that's all good. So yeah, I'm gonna lift that up, try and wedge the piece in between, then I'll get a metal cable tie, hopefully on either side of the subframe. I don't know how far along it needs to go actually. That might not even be big enough, but she might work. I'm gonna give it a go anyway. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No harm, no foul. Yeah, I'll give it a go. So there you go. Hopefully you'll see what I'm getting at. That's just going to sit between the two and stop incessant squeaking with any luck. Just need to try and get a couple of metal cable ties around it now. Yeah, let's see if that works. I'm quietly confident. If not, what I'll do is take the whole exhaust off, beat it to death with a hammer, and then put it back on. But I don't want to do that. That seems excessive. I'm hoping this will sort it. Yeah, let's give that a go. Let's get some cable ties on her. So that should be it for now. I'm going to give that a go. I am somewhat concerned that the rubber itself, not rubber, silicone itself will squeak more than the metal did, if that's what was causing the squeak anyway. But we'll give it a go. Worst case, I'll snip these off, take it off, and at least we're no worse off. But it's not banging anymore, like moving it by hand. So let's give it a rev and see how she goes. Moment of truth. Have a little listen. Nice. So the last thing I'll do while I'm down here is absolutely annihilate every single thing made of rubber with as much WD-40 as I've got to hand, because I just want it to stop squeaking, because it's so annoying. So I'm just gonna do that now, very carefully. Yeah, this will be fine, right? Yeah, I'm sure this will be fine. And spend the next 3 days wondering why it's dripping fluids out the back, worrying it's got a fuel leak. Yeah, well done, Brennan, you're genius. Okay, I'm done. Have fun. See you later. Secondary moment of truth before I actually go. After greasing everything up. Let's see if it still squeaks. I can hear it already. Oh, let's just confirm suspicions. Yeah, still squeaking. Fine, I'll fix something else, god damn it.